finally have my computer now. They fixed my door lock.
Oh, good.
Okay.
I got in and they were, everything was working.
Oh, yeah.
I thought, I'm in the middle of the night. What, it doesn't matter. No, there was a huge line.
Oh.
Okay, we're ready with the stream.
Okay, we're ready with the stream. Good.
Yeah.
Oh, we're ready to get started. And
Yeah.
All right, so we'll talk away.
We'll move to the beginning of Warpstock, and my name's Neil Waldhauer, and I'm just introducing speakers and moving things along. It's good to be back in person after 3 years. And this is really the only chance we get to see this many OS2 users in one place. I run one of the few user groups that meets in person, but there's only 3 regulars on it at this point in Silicon Valley, so that's pretty scanty. And we're going to go even a little bit farther tomorrow morning and connect to the user group meeting in Cologne, Germany, and try to get all of us either on camera or introduce, just wave hi to the people in Germany, and they'll wave back, just to say, look how many OS2 users we managed to collect in one weekend. I think that's really the point of this. It's more of a social thing than technical, although we do have some good technical things coming up, I think, and I'm looking forward to those. And John Edwards, the president of Warpstock, couldn't be here, but he made this presentation and I sort of enhanced it a little bit, and I'd like to just show that sort of briefly. Martin, can you switch to a screen instead of
Yeah.
okay, and if I can remember which button. Oh, that's too fast. Okay. Well, I didn't want it to take up a lot of time, but I just rushed through the years, and that was my first one in 2003 in San Francisco. And at some point we started having better logos, but
That was my first one.
all right.
I think you can actually see how old OS2 is, because most of those first logos were actually GIF files, which shows the file format.
So that was it for my slideshow for Welcome to Warpstock. It's been my practice in the past to go around the room and just have someone, each person, briefly introduce themselves and say, how you use OS2, and just keep it to a few seconds. But let me start by I run a consulting service for OS2 users, and I just put up a website, and believe it or not, I'm the most popular OS2 consulting website. Okay, it's not a long list, but so when people Google, I need an OS2 consultant, they get me, and so it's been a success in some respects. I wouldn't say that it's a very profitable business, but it's more than a hobby. So that's my connection. I run a lot of OS2 machines at home because I want to have something like the people who hire me. I have probably 4, 5, 6 OS2 machines at home that are connected once in a while, and I'll get to that in a later presentation. So, let's go to Martin.
Okay.
Yeah. What?
Hi. I'm Martin Iturbide. I live in Quito, Ecuador. I use OS2 since version Warp 3, so I'm like the newer generation. Yeah.
Carefully.
And I run os2world.com, and I'm the news master there and I'm the general administrator of the site.
Oh, wait.
Yeah, that's
Well, I'm probably the lightest OS2 user here. I've used OS2 since some version of OS2 2. I've used it for years for my work, but since I can't do it in a virtual machine on it anymore, I've been waiting for, hopefully this is hit a sore point, waiting for HTML was a browser, so I can go back to using it. And so far, it hasn't appeared, and hopefully someday in the future it will be. But I use it for browsing, and also use it for my personal finance, and a few other things. And I like playing with it. So.
Okay, I'm Jan van Wijk. I started with the OS2 in 1988, I think. The OS2 1.0, or actually a little bit before 1.0, with IBM. And somewhere in the 90s, after working for a large bank with OS2 for about 10 years, I started on the DFC program, which is a disk utility, and I've done that for 28 years now. And I'm about to put an end to that, which is a bit of a giveaway. But that's me, and still happily using OS2 a little bit, but running it in virtual machines these days instead of on native hardware. And I'll tell a little bit more about all that in about an hour, I think.
Hi, most of you know me. My name is Alex Taylor.
Sorry to interrupt, is it maybe a good idea if somebody from the back of the room who talks there maybe moves forward to that seat so that people on the microphone can hear it? Because I know from online presentations that people sit at the back of the room that you can't hear it for people online.
well.
How's the audio pick up?
I think it's good.
We could have people come up here and do it, but
Yeah, it's not.
if it's, we're adjusting it.
Yeah.
That's my concession.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm Alex Taylor. I've been an OS2 user since 1996, 97. So got into it later than many. Many of you probably don't know, I technically was a Linux user before I was an OS2 user. I moved from Linux to OS2 in college. So I like the system better. Gradually got my feet wet in OS2 development and have been kind of wading deeper ever since. And yeah, that's, I could give you my life story, but we don't have all day, so I'll leave it at that.
Greg?
I'm Greg Johnny, and I've been using OS2 since about 1990. And I started doing OS2 development about 2010, 2011, something like that.
Baby.
Oh, I used to work at Prodigy, which was an online service, and we used OS2 a lot there on the kind of periphery of it. And I actually made my living doing OS2 development for a few years there. And then I was hired by Bankers Trust because they were developing a syndicated lending application that was written on OS2 originally. And I worked on that for a few years, and eventually they stopped using OS2. And then since then, it's been just kind of a hobby, really. And every year, I haul out the machine and try to get everything working and come here.
I'm Mike Snyder. I'm here mainly because I live just down the road in Merritt Island. I'm a user. Unlike all of you, I don't develop programs for OS2, but I still like it. I use it for email. I use it for office stuff. What little office stuff I do since I'm retired now. But, the occasional letter. I have moved, unlike Alex, I'm going the other direction. I spend more and more time in Linux because the OS2 browser is, we all know how limited that is. I'm hoping to get the new one out because I really prefer OS2. But, yeah. So whoever's working on the browser, keep it up.
Okay. Well, certainly have a session on that. Robert?
Well, you probably know me. I got rolled into OS2 circa 2002, I think, 2000. Then I started working at Menzies. I worked there for 12 years on keeping the crew stations going. Well, that was a sad departure, and then we moved on. And I realized actually I need to check that maybe I'm the longest sitting board member for any OS2 organization in the world, because I just realized that I'm coming up to my 25th anniversary of being president of Voice, so yeah. I could be close, but anyway. So I'll be doing some presentations here on some peripheral projects I'm working on. I will tell you more about the browser. On that topic, the stuff was delayed because the developer could no longer reconcile himself with the cookie regime, and he decided to leave. So that has caused a backdrop in development of half a year. But there's more on that on Sunday. That's my history with OS2.
Where is he?
He's now somewhere in the Baltic states.
Okay.
But it took over half a year for him to run out the back door, temporarily settle in Turkey, and then go back to Europe to get in.
Right.
It took some time. So, yeah.
Thanks.
I'm Brendan Oakley. My daughter Leticia and son Mel. This is our second Warpstock. The last time we were here was in 2008, so she was a baby. He was a little kid. But I first started with OS2 in '96 when Warp 4 came out. I loved it as a desktop. I couldn't stand Windows, and I got everything all set up, and I just loved it for years. In 2007, I started working on the Union project, so that's why I presented here on Union in 2008. But my use of OS2 basically, sadly, became just like a bunch of test systems to crash on Union while I was trying to do stuff with tools on Linux. And when the life got busy, I just kind of stopped using OS2 in 2009. But I was never happy with the Linux desktop, and I was always talking, oh, OS2 was better, OS2 was better. So I saw you guys are still doing this. You're still active and still having Warpstock. We went back to in person. We gotta go. So we're getting ArcOS installed and trying to get all my old data and programs installed and see what other old OS2 programs we can find and get back set up so that we like OS2 as OS2. So that's where we are now.
Thanks for bringing your kids. If you're forced to be here, just blink twice. Nobody's going to do anything.
Howard?
Howard.
Hi, I'm Howard Winter. I'm not from around here, as you can probably tell from the voice. I first used OS2 as Warp 3 Connect. Probably tell me what year that was, middle 90s, I guess. And I've used it ever since, and it's my daily driver for everything except websites, because the browser really doesn't work mostly. But I have a Windows machine sat beside and throw stuff across using ClipView. If you aren't using ClipView, it's brilliant. Apart from saving all the clipboard stuff in OS2, you can throw it across to a Windows machine. So you get a website or something in an email, throw it over to Windows and look it up there. It works beautifully. I did work for ArcOS for a little while, did a bit of work with Roderick and Lewis, but now I'm retired, as it says on the shirt. So, but I still use OS2 every single day, and will continue to do so as long as I can. Cheers.
Thank you. Lee Lewis.
I'm the last.
Yeah.
I'm Louis Rosenthal. I'm the managing member of ArcNOA. We produce ArcOS, which of course is the only currently supported OS2 distribution on the planet. I first started using OS2 with OS2 2.0 in 1991 or 1992, something like that. We currently run OS2 in our accounting practice, not as the sole operating system, but that's what's on our desktops. That's what we use for our email and our secure communications. We use remote desktop sessions to talk to Windows machines to run applications that won't run on OS2. So I don't have to worry with running locally virtualized Windows installations. So we run Windows terminal servers. I mean, if you have the availability of a rack of servers, then not everyone has that. Not everyone wants to live next to an aircraft hangar, so. I spend a lot of time with NetWare and with Linux. I'm Novell certified. If you happen to do a Google search of OS2 and NetWare, those two terms, you'll find me pop up because I'm probably the only remaining quasi-expert in OS2 and NetWare connectivity. I'm the LAN guy. I'm a protocol guy. OS2 fascinates me in the sense that it's, like NetWare, a huge multi-protocol router. And that sort of stuff really, really gets my creative juices flowing. So I don't really develop, but I hack. And I tweak things that others have written. I break them as best I can. And then assign the fixing work over to Alex so he can fix what I wrote. I'm also the treasurer of Warpstock. And as far as I know, we're still an ongoing organization, 501c3. We're still active and registered, and we see Warpstock events happening for quite some time. There you have it.
Can I have a question?
Surely.
Can you, at some point this weekend, talk, my son was asking me, who uses OS2, like the companies, if you can, talk about who actually uses it?
I can talk in some general terms. Most of our enterprise clients are under NDA, so I can't mention them by name. But I can certainly mention industries where OS2 is still in use today in volume.
Okay.
So,
sure.
Let me just put it this way: we have work to do, and we're busy working. So we're not going away anytime soon.
Okay.
These are essentially large companies that don't make moves to orphan their technology lightly. So, yeah, I'll talk about that later on.
Sure.
Thank you.
There you go.
And that concludes the welcome presentation. So wait for the next one.
How's the stream doing? The internet seems to be not really working at the moment on my.
Yeah, it's coming and going.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's hope people leave the hotel and use the Wi-Fi.
But is it the strength of the Wi-Fi signal, or is
No.
it just that the outbound internet connection is saturated?
It seems to be the outbound.
Yeah, that's what I
Oh.
found.
You know, I have a little device that plugs an Ethernet into your USB-C connector on your phone. Like, I think that worked on Windows. It didn't seem, OS2 didn't seem to understand it, but you could try that if you want.
You tether it? I've been, one of Neil's little recommended devices. I was able to successfully tether it off of this thing, the Mango.
Were you really? I wasn't able to get my bridge device to work.
Mine worked. Here.
Stupid question.
I
Is
think
there,
that might work.
for the video stream, is there anybody with a phone from a US carrier that has a big data bundle? Because in my experience, if the internet connection gets so bad and lousy, then you just take a mobile phone, pop it in the window, put it in the hotspot mode. We had the same problem in Cologne with Warpstock when you were there. They had 3 DSL lines and they had 500 beds.
Yeah, I have a phone. I have one that I'm not sure how big it is, but
I have unlimited data on my phone, but because I'm now using an Android phone, I can't tether just when I want to. It's not part of my package tethering.
what's
So-
tethering? Is that the thing I just described?
Yeah,
Tethering.
well, you turn your phone into a hotspot.
That worked on my, well, I can make my phone a hotspot.
If I add it to my account, in other words, when my
Oh, your carrier
hotspot,
charges you for that?
when my hotspot comes on, it says access your account, and it apparently, because I specifically did not add that to my account, I don't have it. I can get an IP address assigned, but I can't get any traffic to pass.
I think mine worked with this guy.
Interesting.
We could try it later.
All right, yeah.
Well, for the moment,
Or you could try
on the chat, they're telling me that it's stable, that can be stable like for 10 minutes.
Okay.
So So I hope it's I guess it's improving.
Do we
Yeah.
have more programming announcements that we need to make? I have a couple
Do you want to,
things.
should I read the schedule? I mean, everybody's got the schedule in front of them, so.
Well, if we're already done with the, did we talk about dinner plans tonight?
No, we didn't. I'm sort of ignorant, so.
There is a place not far from here called Cecil's Texas Style Barbecue that looks very interesting. It's very highly rated. I think enough of us have cars that we can all carpool if we'd like to go. Let's talk about that towards the end of sessions today.
I noticed across the highway there was a food truck with Cuban food too, with a few tables outside.
Well, there is that, but we're going to have Cuban for lunch tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So for lunch we have kosher style deli coming in today, and we have and that's from 2J's, which is a local chain down here, and we have Cuban food coming in tomorrow from Numero Uno Cuban restaurant. They've both catered for us before. We've been pretty happy with them, so that's what's coming in tomorrow. Power strips. Around lunchtime, I'm going to go out and I'm going to pick up more power strips, so if everyone can just deal with the power situation for now. Apparently, the power strips that we have in use are the power strips that are available here at the hotel right now. I'll go out and pick up more around lunchtime.
Also, these receptacles on the wall,
Yeah.
they don't allow the plug to stay in securely, so it drops and it disconnects. Have you
Nice.
noticed that? It did it in my room and it did it here too.
Wow.
I had to prop the thing up on the window to hold it up. Try it. It seems to be a feature of them.
It's feature of American.
They got a bulk deal on these, I guess.
I mean, the only way we could defeat that, I guess, is if we have one of those plugs that's got the little fork on it that you can put into, you run the safety plate screw through the middle of the thing.
Oh.
I don't know if I can find it.
I put my power strip up under the blind and that held it up high enough, so.
Yeah.
Why don't you buy some receptacles and replace them?
What else would a bunch of engineers do? You're here for a conference, what work do you need to have done?
And some rubber gloves.
Good idea. Do we have any more programming notes, or are we ready?
I guess Saturday, we were planning to just come back here after the last session and just sort of, this is our chance to, whatever
Right.
technical things we need to work out in a group, we can just work them out in a group.
The other room that we have available to us is the boardroom. It's on the second floor. If you step off the elevator, the sign says conference room. It's a smaller room than this. That's where we'll have the screening of the meeting in Cologne tomorrow.
Are we doing that up there? Is it, they have a screen?
They will have a screen.
Oh, okay, good.
They will have a screen, yes, and we will have a projector. Because they provided us with a little white projector, the black one's ours. So there is a screen already in that room. I think it's up in the ceiling, they just need to board that.
Okay.
So, yeah, we're all set. And Sunday, we will not be in this room. We will all be in that small room upstairs.
Okay.
Because apparently they have a standing reservation for this room. I don't know, maybe it's post-Hurricane Ian. Maybe they've got a church group that meets here now because of out of necessity. But we'll all fit in the small room upstairs. It's smaller than this, but we're not so large that we can't.
Not because they're praying for fewer hurricanes?
There you go.
They said this hotel flooded, by the way, on the top floor because they found out their roof leaked. And I noticed my room has some water damage on the side.
Oh.
And the door doesn't close well.
Well, nobody's door closes well, I don't think.
Yeah. I think in terms of Alex's situation, the question is more whether the door opens very well.
Yeah.
Is that working for you now?
It is. They had to get one of the tech guys to come and open up the lock and through with it. And,
So it wasn't the
he
key
had like
lock?
no, it wasn't the Although he did say that I should not carry my key card next to my phone because that rests with the key card.
Yeah, I should.
I always thought it's your credit cards you shouldn't put it next to because the chip on the card is.
Right,
next to it,
right.
but I don't know.
I
I guess
don't know
I have
why.
to.
I had to
Validate
lift
oil
my
and
door,
stuff.
actually, I had to lift my door by the handle to get it to close. And
We've
then-
already discussed the Wi-Fi situation. Room phones may or may not be working. My room phone does not work at all. I'm in 527 if anyone needs me. But my phone does not ring whatsoever. I get no dial tone on it. So I don't think even the front desk can reach me from the phone. So.
Mine has the message light flashing. Whenever I press the light, it says it's connecting me to the voicemail, and then it says, "You have one message. I will now play the message." Dial tone. And then it keeps flashing at me. I had to unplug it to stop it flashing all night.
Mine is suddenly different. It's flashing when you dial to get the message. It just rings and rings and rings.
Maybe it's a short message.
So let it not be said that Warpstock isn't always an adventure. So we're in it together. We're all in the same rowboat. So we'll make do. We'll make do.
Did they give us coffee? Did they give us water?
Yes, but the thing next to the coffee is water.
It's hot water,
I just had a tea. What?
Isn't that hot water though?
Hot water, yeah.
No, I mean drinking water.
We should have more than just coffee refreshments. Didn't we get cold refreshments for our package?
Thought so.
I'll double check and see about getting some.
I just want to be able to take an Advil at night, you know.
Yeah.
In fact, that reminds me, speaking of announcements to make, when I ordered catering, I did not order drinks because we've always had excess drinks in our refreshment package.
Oh,
So I will go out ahead of time and make sure that we have enough drinks for everyone. So if you have any special beverage requests, just let me know before I go out. I'll make sure to pick something up. And that's it for me.
I think
we're
we're
ready
all
to-
announced and.
Yeah, we need to
Wait.
keep talking for 10 minutes. So, so there are people connect from Australia and Netherlands that says
Excellent.
hi, and there are like other 12 people watching that I don't know who they are. Maybe my family, but yeah, no.
Yeah. Right.
Okay. So let's wait like 10 minutes and
Yeah,
we start
we should
the next
start
one.
on
Have a
time.
short
Okay.
break here?
Sure,
Yeah, short break.
sure, we can do that.
We're all tired after this.
Yeah. Rest after. After that,